We'll see if it works this time. Third time's a charm, hopefully, right? I don't know what's going on. There is interference, but I'm not going to let it. So I don't know if it's working this time. Hopefully it is, without freezing, without glitching. It's very interesting how much interference I've had today to be here. And that's okay. It happens, as they say. So it looks like it's working. Hopefully it stays that way. So welcome. Third time's a charm today. It's like, and there was a lot of resistance to get here today. So I don't know why there's so much glitching resistance. I am actually hardwired in through an Ethernet connection. So it's not a Wi-Fi thing necessarily, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to give it a moment and we're going to reset. I'm going to call on the creator of all that is and all the angels to be with us in this space and time. For whoever comes in and out of this healing today, whoever receives this healing, whoever hears the call to receive this healing, allow us to have protections put up in every way. A big bubble of violet flame upon entry that you will go through that helps cleanse our energy externally and internally from any muck and yuck that does not belong. I ask Spirit to help allow this transition to be clear, this transmission, this healing on the internet, on the YouTube, to be clear and precise. I haven't done any lives on this channel yet either. So I don't think it's in the settings. I don't know. But that's okay. This week, we are in the midst of a big shift. We are in the midst of, right now, a 222 portal, which 222 is a very important number to me. It was on my twin flame journey, and it still is to this day. A lot of things for me happen and occur at 222. However, 222 is not the only thing that matters this week. This whole entire week, we've been going through what I would call a portal type shift. So there's been a lot of waves of energy coming in, hence the trees and the Schumann resonance. All these other things are happening, and it's all purposeful. The trees are that way. I remember on the journey, I brought a lot of Christ light through about a year ago, I think it was. And the 144 were not all ready to receive all that light. And so the trees have been used a lot. And that's kind of reflecting. A lot of the earth is more open and receptive than necessarily we are as mankind. So I can feel it in the energy. There's a big pressure to let go of false timelines, and I can feel that. I can feel the angst. I can feel the energy. I can feel a lot of thoughts of the past, and I can feel a lot of thoughts of the future. And for me personally, this week, I've been having to clear everything out of my energy and stay internally focused and in the here and the now only. It's been massive. It's been up and down in the energy. It's been quite poetic, right? It's been intense, but it's also very, very purposeful. So I want you guys to know is that everything has a purpose. And I do mean everything. Everything has a purpose. And the thing about the resistance is I remember before I came on today, I was like, oh, I'm pushing past this resistance because it's usually my day off. And all day I was like, no, I don't have to do it. I'm like, shut up. Yes, I do. And so I've been pushing past that resistance. And the first thing I was going to say is thank you to everybody who does push past that resistance to be here, because there will be some. And then there's 3 glitches in the system with these videos. So welcome to the resistance, right? Whenever something good is coming, there's going to be something that tries to interfere, always. So it's super important to let go of timelines, to let go of any doubt and any fear. Fear can be a very big program of the matrix. False timelines are a huge program of the matrix. And this week I've been calling my power back profusely from a lot of areas. There's been a lot of pull against the here and the now and against love. And a lot of sabotaging energies at play, right? They just are. So I'm going to pull a quick card for today to see what's going to come through, whatever cards want to come out for this healing. And if you find this, it is for you. If you heard the call, it is for you. Okay. Yeah. So okay. They want one more. Oop, yep. And that came out right away. Right away, it came out. Okay. Existential resistance. Just like I said, there is a lot of resistance. And what you focus on matters. And I remember in the last one, Lisa came on and she was like, oh, you're glitching. And I'm like, I don't want to focus on that. Like I was trying to clear that energy and then it just stopped. So keep our focus in the here and the now. Keep our focus in the ethereal. We really, truly need to expand our heart space. It is so important. Okay. It is so important to push past all resistance. And the most important resistance I'm hearing right now is time. I don't want to bring my past forward. And I realized how much I was being pulled that way before. And so I've been clearing all of that profusely. And I also don't want to be focused on the future because where we're at is right now. So when we can bring ourselves to the here and the now only, right at 222, that's the most important space to be. And anything that tries to pull you out of that, I don't care what it is. People will tell me, well, wounds, I need to go to the past. No, we don't. But there is a pull for the past. So we need to cut ties to it. Okay. And so that might come out today. We'll see what all comes out today. I always channel these through. I'm always just a pure divine guide. And so I let spirit guide the whole entire way. Okay. So we have existential resistance. There is a lot of resistance at play. Okay. So pay attention to where the resistance is hindering your growth, where it's trying to take you away from growth. And you guys, it's not always easy. Like you should understand the battle can be tough. There's really no excuse other than we just need to not allow it, not to give it power, calling our power back, doing whatever we do and anchoring into those right things. Okay. Expansion of a limited mind. All right, we have to push past the resistance. These energies that are coming in, especially this 222 portal, is asking us to expand from the limitations of self. Soul lessons, soul growth, from the limitations of fear, false timelines, and conditioned programming. Okay, expansion of a limited mind, and then we have the portal of the mind. Okay, portal of the mind. So there's going to be a lot of things that come in that want you to speak of something negative. And we can't do that. What you speak of is so important. What we speak of, we create, because we are creating our future. We are now free. We are sovereign beings of pure light for those of us choosing to rise. And so we get the ability to create our future going forward because the false programming is falling. The matrix is crumbling. We can no longer do things that way. We have to be free. And so it's so important to detach from all those components. Time, okay? Wounds, like we've all had wounds, but we need to live a pure sovereign being light. That means when emotions come in, we heal them. But other than that, don't think backwards and don't think forwards. If you want to heal your child, bring that playfulness into the now. Bring the things into the now to clear them in the now and stay in this timeline. Okay? Fear is a huge fear body that we have to eliminate. Okay. And sometimes we have to be truly honest with ourselves. Truth time, truth chakra activations. And sometimes we need to step outside of other people's energies so that we can see clearly. And you don't even realize is that when other people's energies are surrounding you, it can be blinding. Okay. It can be really hard to see. And so that's why on a spiritual journey, we do need to have time and space to ourselves so that we can process energies. Okay. So that's the message for this portal and for this healing. So if you're here, just put your feet on the floor, your palms facing up, and choose to receive. I am a master healer of all modalities. And so whatever comes through in this one is going to come through. I give spirit permission to show me and to guide me for what that is. And I will light some sage. I will light some Palo Santo. I have a few chakra bowls. Okay. And I will do some energy healing, some light healing, and I will also ground us deeply to the earth. But you guys, the ones that are joining me, are going to help me with something with the earth, they're saying, okay? Because it is a 222 energy. It's like a balanced flow of energy. And the more we can carry this through, the more we're helping the vibration of the earth too. But these are big. So welcome. All right. Just set the intention to receive. You don't have to do anything. If you're thirsty, grab some water. I will begin by playing my chakra bowls. Okay. If I burp, please forgive me. As a healer, it's a releasing thing that I do. And I also do it when connecting to energies. Okay. If you're just now joining, I put a bubble of violet flame that you're coming through to be here to help draw out any energies that don't belong. All right. I'm going to start with a little bit of Hertz chakra flow. And already burping. I may do light language also. So just so you're aware of that, it does come through. I have called on the Creator and all the angels, but I'm going to do it again. All your guides and your higher selves as well to connect to you deeply. I don't know how you can hear that on a microphone. I'm trying not to cause yucky in the sound. So hopefully it's nice and gentle. So I allow them to guide this. So we're just going to flow. Okay. This is lavender, by the way, pure lavender to help calm any angst, any fear body. All of your fears, all of your worries, all of the blockages that we house that need to be released, that we wish to release, that this energy is trying to get us to release, will also be called forward, and I will be releasing them out. Okay. There we go, burping already. So I'm being called to draw down a light, a frequency, a very potent, powerful light to come down from the heavens. And first, it's going to cleanse our auric field. So it's coming down like a kind of like a bubble, right? But it's very free flowing. It's not bubbly. It's not a solid foundation of a bubble. So I don't like the word bubble, but it's coming around our auric field to kind of cleanse, like a sprinkle of cleansing, I guess you could say. Very beautiful, potent light. Excuse me. There's also a cord of light from your higher self coming down to make sure your connection is nice and strong to your higher self. So I am seeing the infinity symbol, what you would call the figure 8, life and death and rebirth cycle, right? Life, rebirth, cycle, soul lessons, soul path learning. Those are here. Saint Germain is also here with the Akashic records. Whenever I do work, it does affect our Akashic records. But anytime we truly heal and release and get DNA downloads, it should, right? It does. It goes into the Akashic records. It's all recorded. So I am calling also in the energy of healing through the Akashic records for this one, they're saying. So I can see your books opening and this beautiful glowing green. It might be different colors for everybody because I do see different colors, but they're just kind of opening up and it's allowing you to cleanse through your records, through the Akasha field. It's very high potent, high heart chakra feeling, right? And so the energy through there, the healing through there is quite potent and powerful. And that's being called in today. So we have these cords coming down from our higher self, making sure you're nice and connected, but they're not just going through the crown, they're going right to the heart space. Kempalayan tara uayay ito. Sorry, I try not to burp in our ears. So I'm hearing it's time to remember who we are at a soul level, okay? So there's a big fear body that we're helping to eliminate, detach from, burn, many ways of doing it that's coming in. Some of them are burning. It depends on how much fear is in our field for how it's being removed for you. But it's big. There's a lot of fear. But it's also in like the collective whole. Not just us as an individual. It's coming through in the collective whole. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear. So if you all do me a favor really quick, I want you to tune into the trees. See the trees of the earth, okay? If you wonder why there's fear, look at all of the earthquakes. Look at all the weather, the fires, right? There is a collective fear. So if you're still here, tune into the trees for me. Because the trees are what's carrying a lot of Christ's light. It's what is able to receive it at this time. So there is fear. There's fear mongering, they're calling it. There's fear mongering through the presidential stuff, through the White House, through the changes in the earth. It's a lot of fear. It's fear rising. It's in the fear body. There's fear rising. So if you choose to help, tune into the trees, because we're going to help break down the fear body of the earth as well as individually. So I do see the gods all over the earth. The gods are very present, awakened, and all about. Matter of fact, where you see the elements heightened, right? There's big shifting going on. I was watching my pyramid activation videos on my main channel the other day because I've been uploading the masculine ones again. And there was a nice reminder that came through. Some people call this the apocalypse, right? But spirit doesn't, because it has a negative connotation of end, death. And it shouldn't be about that. It should be about rising and love and just letting go of all of those shackles, right? All of what once was. And so spirit doesn't call it the apocalypse. They call it the return of the gods, which makes sense when you do watch all the work that I've done on my main channel. We are returning to what once was, but then ascending beyond that as well. So when you think of even 5D, really that's kind of different, right, from the reality we've known, but we're going further. We're going into 7D. Pure heart-centered, focus, creations. Spirit says the biggest thing is the false timelines right now. Expectations and that push for fear, right? And it's happening all over. But not only that, when the earth is different, when change appears, fear can rise. So just take a deep breath in for me, please. For it's not the apocalypse. It is a great reset. It is a return of the gods. Right? What is God? God is here. Heart center. Love. Pure, unconditional love. Okay? So I want you to release fear. Breathe it in. And we're going to breathe it out. So I brought down a blanket of white light, and I'm going to allow it to now infuse into your energy and start breaking down fear on every level. I'm also going down and opening up your crown chakra. Very slowly. The 22nd, and the 18th chakra and the 9th chakra. I need to also break down anxiousness and fear. Excuse me. Nice releasing. So I'm going in and I'm bringing down the light. Somebody was also going to get some crystalline, kind of like diamond codes, right? Like crystalline grid is what they're calling it. Crystalline grid activation. So it's a little different. Excuse me. So it's a bubble of crystalline grid activations. This is making me think of the grid, right? The system, the crystal grid, the ley lines, the energetic force of the earth, the crystalline grid. Somebody needs to kind of detach a little more from the matrix, they're saying, and into the crystalline grid of New Earth Blueprint. So if you're just coming in the beginning, I opened up our Akashic records, and we're going to heal through the records as well today. So there's a lot going on in this healing. And we're also going to be helping the earth for the 2222 portal. Because the work I do isn't quite normal. I do a lot to the earth. A lot. Including the pyramid stuff that I've done. But it's not like other people going there and just healing in their energies. No. I've dealt with ones at Indonesia, Fiji, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand. And I need to call in their energy. These are the masculine and feminine pyramids: Congo, British Columbia, Kilimanjaro, Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe. So it's a little bit of a balance of the masculine and feminine of the earth as well. Excuse me. And that's also in the crystalline grid. So I'm going to bring down the light further from the crown into the third eye. Somebody needs their third eye repaired. It's almost like fractured. It looks fractured. That could mean many things. It could be trauma related. It could have just been dormant. It also might just simply need healing. It's layered, but a fracture usually is layered, right? And there's also resistance in the ethereal against everything, and that came through in the cards. So I'm going to bring in the light, and I'm going to begin to repair this third eye. But everybody is getting a cleanse in their third eye right now. Also, I need to connect us to the eye of Horus, which is the left side, and the eye of Ra, which is the right. The eye of Horus is the god of the moon. It wasn't Thoth. Okay, that has been fixed and returned. And the eye of Ra is the god of the sun. Okay, and so we have the sun on the right, the feminine, and the moon on the left, the masculine. So I'm drawing the light into our third eye, and I need to balance those. I need to cleanse any debris and also repair somebody's third eye. This is what's coming through. I told you I don't know what's going to come through, but it will. So I see the moon kind of like the crystalline grid. I said this already, right? The crystalline grid. It's coming in here, but it's like through the moon on the left and the sun on the right. Eye of Horus activation in the pineal gland and the Eye of Ra on the right. And that's what's happening. And so there's a little repair. There's some connections that have been dormant, a little awakening going on here and more. So just be still. Just receive. And as I'm doing that, I'm removing expectations, any judgments of ours or others, any fear, and also grief. Grief of the past. Grief of the past, also past lives. So there wasn't a traumatic event. And it probably played out in all lifetimes. I feel like it has to do with the karmic patterning. And it causes you to shut down your connection to that grid. Excuse me. So the chakra bowls are helping to raise our vibration. We need the frequencies, they're saying. So I don't always use those, but I am today. So there's a little also dormant shadow in somebody's Eye of Horus side in the third eye area. I'm also going into the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, and a little bit in the thyroid. They're all connected. Ooh, sharp pains into the left side of my head suddenly appear. It's like very sharp pain. This is like, I don't know if you want to call it an awakening. It's just a repair. There's a lot going on, and it did cause some pain. So we're just going to transmute that. Make sure you drink lots of water. Stay very hydrated. Also, pay attention to your water sources because we are not all around clean water sources. When I was dealing with the blood of Christ and all of that, they specifically said that not everybody's going to have clean water going through this. And so we need to pay attention to our water supplies. Pay attention to your water supplies. And act accordingly. Look for higher skies. Look for higher frequencies. Look, there's a path. There's a path to take. There's a way to go. There's always what we need if we listen to the heart and to the divine. So in the beginning of this journey today, I pulled some cards and we had a portal of the mind. And I do see like bogged down of thoughts, like it gets overwhelming. Somebody like gives their power away to these thoughts as well. It's like a comfort zone. And so I'm going to detach from some of those. I need my onyx. So I've never really done this like this either, but I feel like it's helping to break up those ties. So if you think of the shadow, if you think of how the mind works, they're not always our thoughts. And there's like this web of like shadow lines going into the thought processes here. So I'm just helping to ease the power, break the cycle, break the pattern, break the energy hold. This is obsidian and selenite. They're saying it's breaking the karmic patterning for somebody. And I see a shadow rising, like backwards, like from behind you, like the shadow rising. Like it came out and it's like behind you in the shadow. And I need to bring in water. I need to bring in water, a water source. I'm going to draw forth a river of water, a river of water at our feet. And the Akashic records ever so vibrant and bright. And the energy of the Akashic records going into our heart space to help cleanse and open us up to our higher heart chakra. And then I'm going to draw up the water into your feet, all of you, your ankles, your calves, your knees, drawing up the water, pure hydration. This is pure water, new earth water, pure water, untouched by man. Cleansing the knees into the thighs. I also need to scrape some bone marrow in somebody's femur. So I'm pausing to do that. I need to scrape a little bone marrow in somebody's femur. They've been dealing with some health stuff, they're saying. And the immune system is a little weaker. They're tired, like fatigued, like not doing well. Almost giving up hope, but still grasping, like not wanting to, you know what I mean? But like tired. And I can feel it into my femur. As I'm doing that with the light, I'm cleansing with the water, going up all of our legs, into our thighs, and into our root chakra. So there's something going on with the trees. I told you, tune into the trees in the beginning of this. Feel the trees. Be the trees. Be one with the trees. Feel the trees. Feel the trees. They're here to help. They're here to help transmute, awaken, cleanse, purify. And it also has to do with the earth. So the earth is shaking. She's actually shaking at a level beneath the surface. Whoa, big releasing. Forgive that. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to slow down and tune into the root. Conditioning and fear of change. And I hear again a health crisis. So I'm going to bring in a lot of water and light to the root and detach you from the virus matrix wall. Detaching from the virus matrix wall. It's also coding in the records. For somebody, it's coded in the records, and it's like written. It's being written that you're detaching from this. And then I see layers processing out your system. I don't know why I hear what I hear, but there's many people. So like I hear like cancer battle, I hear processing past. So it could be like past issues, past lives, generational. It could be fear of, could be something you've experienced. I don't know. I'm not here to determine all things. I just bring through what's needed. This is quite general for all. So, but there's like different layers here and a broken down immune system. And then I'm also seeing in the genetic coding. So somebody also needs to detach from the medical matrix. Okay. I undid the medical matrix. It's actually on my Facebook page because They didn't ban it like YouTube did. But it heals through the spinal fluid. It heals through the spinal fluid. So somebody is ready to actually detach from this matrix wall, the virus matrix wall, and also the medical matrix. And keep in mind, your body can and will process this in its own way. Physical things do happen. Give your body space and time to process. So I need to draw up this light, draw down the light through the spinal fluid, the cerebral spinal cortex. And it's going to undo the coding. It's like a coding. There's some number coding, and then it like cleanses with what looks like a foreign language coding. That's the best way to describe it. But it's like Christ light. It's just divine frequency shift. Detaching you from this. So it's going up through the spinal fluid. This is not an easy journey always. You do have to process it. Okay. You might feel a little yuckier before you feel better because it's true healing. So just process, give your body time, but trust, have faith, see light, see hope, see love, see beauty. See love and see beauty in all that we do. Okay, they're saying enough of these and go back to the chakra bowl. So I will do that now. Love. Love is possible. You can heal. You are a healer. You are this person that I'm undoing this for is the one I feel like I'm connecting to at this time, but everybody needs these in their chakra right now. So remember, I'm focused in the root. Conditioned responses, false timelines, and somebody severely needing to detach from that virus matrix wall. And so everybody who's open is going to receive the healing of the virus matrix, programming out of their spinal column, their spinal fluid. And if you want to know what that was, I can't talk a lot about it on YouTube because they made me delete that video. But it is actually up on my Facebook page for all to see. But I undid the virus matrix wall, the money matrix wall, the pentagram and the pentagon connection, and a lot of others. So they have been undone. But this is like important. I feel like this is important because it's been taking a toll on the vessel, on the body, and on the soul, and on the spirit. And it's also generational. So it's healing through the spinal fluid and going into the genetic coding, and also recordation in the akasha records. And detaching from the virus matrix wall. And then I'm bringing in more water into the root. And I'm balancing and cleansing. And I'm also going down from the third eye now into the throat. So I'm kind of going up from both ways because we're bringing in pure light here, and then water from the earth, the element of water. And I'm also hearing, pay attention to the earth, because the element of water is it's still dancing with fire. So I don't think I feel like a return maybe of some fires, right? And then there's also water. So water is like kind of dancing in the elemental area, in the elements. Water is heightened. And the earth is shaking at a different layer. So almost at like the crystalline grid layer, right? Like it's not all surface. So they said just because we don't see everything, there are more changes going on than we know. Inside and out. So in the root, the crown, the third eye, and throat, I'm cutting you off from the false timeline system. So allowing you to detach from the past. And when I say that, I get angst in my solar plexus. The earth needs a lot of love. She's also here to give you a lot of love. So grounding is crucial. A lot of grounding and connecting to her. So somebody also needs to process a past life. So I'm going to allow the tree roots to come underneath your feet and draw out the past life. So as we heal and rise, we learn lessons. As we're learning lessons, we get to call our power back and become whole again, right? Then we upgrade. That's the way it goes. Clearing all karma, learning, growing. And somebody gets to process a past, I don't use timelines, past vibration of the self. So paying attention now to the throat. I need to shift my focus there. So I'm hearing glandular issue. I tuned into the thyroid and I heard glandular issue. So I'm going to bring some light into the glands, some of these glandular components of the system: pituitary gland, pineal gland, hypothalamus, hippocampus, adrenal glands. Kidneys are also part of that system. Yeah, I don't just do like energy healing, so it does get physical, but it's okay. I'm not a doctor, I'm a master healer, but I know that everything I say has always been proven, and I have lots of one-on-one clients, so we just trust and we receive without expectation and fear. But you're also detaching from that medical matrix, because it is a false part of the system. The system that's falling. But in my throat, I'm also tuned into the neck, not just the thyroid, the entire throat, the whole neck, the back of the neck. And I'm getting a lot of pain in the back of my neck. So like a lot. It's intense. Hang on. I have to push through the pain because it just got really intense. So bear with me. I don't know who this belongs to, but it's actually quite painful. I'm getting some past life interference also of like a hanging. And so maybe this goes with the person that's processing the past life. I don't know, because I'm tuning into general. But like as I'm here, like I feel like my neck broke, like it snapped, like the back of my neck really hurts. And then I see this rope and I possible like suicidal stuff of a past life, maybe. There's a lot of grief attached to it. It's intense. Like I feel like my windpipe was crushed. So I'm processing the trauma. Sometimes, you know, when those things happen, it's like we're not mentally there. We're trying to escape. There's something very dear going on, very dire going on, very intense going on. And so it's a lot to process all. And I feel like I'm processing a death. And it's also clearing karma. Sorry, I didn't see this coming, but we got to do it. We have to give it respect and space and grace. I feel like this big crushed windpipe is what I hear. And it's like this pressure right here and this horrible pain in the back of my neck. And then I see like this almost spiritual presence, like as if I'm processing a crossing over a death at the same time, and we're clearing this. So I feel like this is probably associated with this past life, but it also may have played out somehow in this lifetime. Maybe not you particularly, maybe a loved one, maybe somebody you know. I don't know. This is a karmic connection. That's what I'm hearing. So, ow, 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 my neck is hot and it hurts. It feels like it's broken. For those of you this doesn't connect to, just hold space because the water's still cleansing your root. It's starting to draw up to your sacral, as well as cleansing the throat. There's a lot happening. Still kind of accessing and cleansing and awakening the pineal gland of the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra. And so you're not not receiving. So just hold space for whoever this belongs to, because I feel like they also need love. They need us to hold that space, not get irritated and leave, right? Like, people have a hard time sitting with us in our darkest moments. And that's why people sometimes feel like there's no way out. There's no hope. There's nothing we can do. Nobody will hear us. I can't escape this pain and I don't know what to do and I don't know how to get out of it. And I don't want anybody else to suffer from my presence. And I just feel like I needed to end it. And then I see like the heart open. Remember, I said I opened the Akashic records. This one's quite layered, and I had no idea this was coming either. But we just deal. My neck still hurts, so it's not done. But I see the heart opening, and I see the soul being set free. So this is a karmic play out. So you may have had an experience this lifetime with this, watching somebody else do that, feeling the loss of somebody with that. And I feel like in a past life, this belonged to you, whoever this was. Ow! Ow, my neck hurts. I have to tune into the pain. There's something there. Oh. Oh, there's a lot of grief. It's hard to sit in the grief is what I'm hearing. Like, I've gotten a space where I'm sitting in the pain, which is causing sitting in the grief. Sitting in the grief, seeing that there is a way out. Oh, I got chills going all the way up my left side. This is a karmic piece. So I'm seeing other souls, like in lifetimes, just being set free from this connected cord. And I'm seeing them rise up. So one was like a father figure, like a masculine presence, and it just like rose out of this connected cord as I tuned into the pain in my neck. So this is not just one soul. This has actually affected quite a few in this line. This is a karmic line. Ow. And so I'm saying, like, written in a contract, like writing in a contract. That's what our Akashic records keeps our bear with me, I'm super dizzy and not feeling very well with this one, but our karma is written through contracts. That's what those contracts, we should not cut and burn. We need them with us so that we can heal these as they rise. And this is no exception to this portal, that we have to heal karma. All karma has to be healed to rise. And I said that when I undid the Holy Grail on my other channel. As strange as that sounds, I'm not normal. And the healings I do aren't normal. And that's okay. That's what this is about. But somebody's karma is being healed on this level. And it deals with taking of life, not seeing a way out. And there should no be judgment here. No judgment, none. It happens when we suffer. We suffer alone for too long. We don't know how to deal with it, and people judge a lot. So it's hard. It's overwhelming. It's hard. There's trauma here, and this is a very dark shadow. So everything I've done is layered in this. But remember the shadow that came out, and it's like behind. There's another one. Hang on. And I went into the crush to windpipe, like. And I feel like a female presence in this one. And I have to say what I see, or I do it no justice, but I get the image of like I'm in school, like I'm carrying a backpack and I'm being not just bullied, but like tortured. An energy of torture, Like, I don't want to say this because I don't want to create in my reality, but I have to process this for somebody. Is I hated myself. There was like this. I feel like I didn't belong on this planet. Like I didn't deserve breath. My windpipe breath. Ow, ow, ow. Ah! 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 Somebody has a karmic tie. If you want me to be political, it's unaliving ourselves, is what they call it now. When I worked the crisis line, it was, ending of a life. Just finding no way out. Ah, ow, ow. And this one's presenting, the only way as I've seen is through a cord. And it's tied into the neck. Ow. Ow. Hold space, please hold space. So the tree roots are coming up to help me process this final component of this karmic tie. So let's say in a past life, many moons ago, a past state of being, a past breath, a past presence on this earth, you committed suicide, right? You unalived yourself. This is what they would call it. And then from there on, you experienced that as a karmic cycle in some way, shape, or form in your lifetime so that you could learn the lesson. We have to clear things. It's not like we're going to be in purgatory if we do that, but it's just like everything else. It's outside of unconditional love. And so we have to learn the lesson where love was not, so that we can heal it and be free. And it's setting you free. There's a lot of grief, and it's like just all these tears just coming out, and I feel like I'm catching the tears, and then I pour them into the earth to help heal and transmute the grief. Ow. I feel very dizzy, and my neck feels broken. It's still like a lot of pain in the back. I'm sorry. There's always forgiveness, inside and out. We forgive ourselves and we forgive all others. It's a recognition that we didn't know before, but we do now. So we are sorry. We give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness, but we accept forgiveness. We accept forgiveness. We are worthy of forgiveness and love. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of recognition, and I am worthy of being free, and I am forgiving. I am forgiven, and I am forgiven, and I am forgiving. I am free. I am free. I accept forgiveness. I accept forgiveness. And I forgive all others because we didn't see. We couldn't see beyond the shadow, the grief, the sorrow, the fear, and the loneliness. But we can see now. We can see now that love is what matters. Love we can give. Love we can be. And love we must do. Ow. And then I'm hearing to say, I forgive my mother and my father. I forgive my line, my bloodline. I forgive my past and my future. And I choose to love. I choose love this time. And there's like this cord in the back, and I cut it. I cut it. And then I see that soul, and it looks like a young girl holding a backpack. That's the image I get, right? Just kind of innocent and broken and free. The soul just like went. And they want me to say is that when we do take our life into our own hands, we leave a trail of grief. It's not just us that we affect, it's everybody. Just like when we heal, we don't just affect us, it's everybody. And so the karmic cycles connect to others, which is why it's so important not to cut those free and not to burn them. Do not cut your contracts free and do not burn them. We need to call them forward to heal the lessons so that we can be free. And not only us, but all those other souls I just set free. And now I need to put like this light in the back of my neck for healing and in the front. And I feel like I'm bringing healing to this neck. And the tree drew out this past life healing, like a releasing of the past. And in the Akashic records, it's cleared. It went from karmic to clear, and it just like burned that contract. Like it turned to ash. It doesn't burn, but it like clears it. It becomes nothingness. And now I can move on. I can move on. So the person that was getting the medical healing, the medical matrix released through their spinal column, I can see that in the fluid. And I cleared the matrix programming, and now it's like activating with divine presence, divine light, the crystalline grid. And now I've got a blockage from the throat to the heart. So I'm going to repair the connection from the throat to our heart and then out into the Merkaba. Whoa, excuse me. And just give love. If everybody can just give love. We don't have to understand. We don't have to see all things. We just need to be present and not judge them. Just hold space and send love. And again, tune into the trees. So I'm repairing the connection from the throat to the heart space, and I'm going up from the root to the sacral with water. So I'm drawing light down, but we're rising up with water, okay? Water is necessary. It's the next big element coming into play on the earth, but also water has been dancing with the element of fire for a minute. They're not here to put each other out or anything like that. They're dancing, they're cleansing, they are processing this part of the earth's death and shift. Because she's doing the same thing. That's an ascension. Her past has to burn off and die and cleanse and purge and shift. Death and rebirth, figure 8. Okay, but water wants to come in and help us, support us, and connect us to the earth very deeply at this time. So it's going from the root to the sacral, and then I'm drawing light from the throat to the heart, and I need to come down. There's a little bit of a repair of a connection from the throat to the heart that is happening, and I feel that in the shift. So I'm drawing light all the way down to the heart center, and I'm opening it up, and there's some skeletons in the closet is what they're saying here. So I'm just going to hold space for this for a moment and tune back into the chakras, bowls, okay? I need to hold space for a moment, they're saying, so just be present. Feel into your body. If you feel anything in the body, I want you to breathe up into it from the earth and drop it down with your breath. Use your breath. Push past everything with your breath. My neck is still processing that. Like I just cleared somebody's karma through my neck, and it like, oh, that was painful. So water in the sacral. I'm drawing in the water to the sacral. I need to cleanse out some debris. Also, energies that don't belong, so past relationships, karmic patterning. Karma's the theme, isn't it, today? The Akashic records, of course it is. And this a portal for ascension. We have to heal the karma. We cannot cut ties. So where you might have cut ties, I draw them back for you. I never cut ties. We heal them. So everything I do, it aligns you to it, to heal it, to rise. That is the only way to be free. So in the sacral, there's karmic ties to relationships coming out. Grief and lack of self-love. They're calling for the lavender. And I totally forgot to sage. That's okay. I can do it in a moment, they're saying. But in the sacral, I feel pressure towards the front of my belly, like below my belly button and my lower abdomen. I'm feeling this weird ball of energy rising as I'm going into our sacral. So I'm going to tune into that. This is also gut health, I'm hearing. Gallbladder, spleen. Oh, little toxins within the body. Oh, medical matrix components also, like virus matrix stuff. So I've heard this before. It's coming in here. I need to call in the presence of Zanzibar gem, which is a plant. So I'm literally calling in the essence of Zanzibar gem into the sacral. And you can look up the healing properties of that to understand maybe why. And I feel like a shaman. Like I feel like I'm in your sacral and I'm using the Zanzibar and I'm like, and that's what I hear. And I'm like doing this like a ritual cleansing. You're a shaman. I'm seeing this. It's in your coding for whoever this belongs to. I heard the word shaman mother. So I don't know if you were once a shaman mother or how you connect to the shaman mother, but it is in somebody's sacral. Like your mother was a shaman, you're a shaman, it might be bloodline related. Shaman mother, it also could be who you've been, past life to this one, I don't know. But they just want me to say shaman mother. It's your journey to recognize that, not mine. So the Zanzibar gem is for everybody, and I'm just cleansing all of your sacral with it. It's important, and it needs to be recognized, and so you can look that up as to how it cleanses spiritually and also physically. It is a plant. Before I can rise to the solar plexus, I need to turn somebody's around. So somebody's is facing like outward and I need to turn it inward. So I need to rotate somebody's solar plexus and I can feel it. It feels like it doesn't fit right, like almost. I don't know how else to put that. And so I'm rotating. It's almost like a recalibration, which I did to the north, east, south, and the west. And so it does require a recalibration for our solar plexus. So this is happening for somebody because the energy won't go through otherwise. I can feel it shifting. It's weird. And it's affecting my navel and my sacral. So I'm going to bring in more water into the sacral and the navel. There's a umbilical cord energy coming through here. So there's a mother wound healing also coming through. Ooh, that feels good. I heard it has been recalibrated. So I'm going to also drop the water to the solar plexus because I need to do these 3 sections together for some reason. Sacral, navel, and solar plexus. In the navel, I see an umbilical cord. This umbilical cord is going to Mother Earth and also your genetic tie. Okay, so the mother side of things. There is a father side to that too, but I feel like we're heightened in the mother. It's time. It's time to ascend, my friends. Great reset of mankind. Expectations, judgments. I'm hearing discernment required. Oftentimes we blame our parents and we forget that they're our karmic tie. The things we suffer in our relationships with our parents are a direct reflection of our karmic patterning. So there's this weird energy in the umbilical cord that I'm seeing rising. It almost looks like blood. I don't know why, but it kind of looks like that. And it's like drawing it out. So it's drawing and cleansing the blood ties, I suppose is what that means. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. I don't make these up. I just channel them. I provide the healing. They show me what to do. For all of you. So I'm also hearing blood in the Nile. When I did the Nile back in 23, I think, 23 or 23, that it represents what we're purging, right? Like removal, what we're purging. They want me to kind of draw in the energy of the Nile. We're nearing that portal. That is the final portal. Whoa, excuse me. So from the throat to the heart now, I'm bringing a little more healing light here. So I'm drawing down more light from the ethereal down our upper chakras into the heart, going deeper into the heart. Remember I said skeletons in the closet. So it's just been cleansing out things, cleansing out debris, cleansing out things that keep you from your heart center. This will draw out karmic patterning. They want me to tell you guys. So whatever plays out in your external world, you choose unconditional love. Choose to see unconditional love, not judgment, not fear, not division, not false timelines. Only choose the path that is unconditional love. Do not allow thoughts of judgment. Do not allow thoughts of fear. Do not allow expectations, false timelines, nothing. Nothing. There will be clear 2 paths, 2 choices to make. Always choose unconditional love. The other person is blinded just as much as you once were. Okay? So do people really truly mean to hurt us? Not usually. It's their shadow. They can't see just as much as we couldn't see. It's our karmic patterning that we agreed to play out together. cleanse, to heal, and to come back together through unconditional love. Addictions, pay attention to addictions. They're saying for somebody in the heart center, I will draw them out and release the tension of these addictions. So now they're calling for the crystals again. And then after this, I'm being drawn to light, the sage. Breaking ties to addictions. Addictions could be many things. Medications that doctors prescribed you, right? To substances, to foods, to fear. Judgment can become an addiction. Whatever we give our power away to, right? That really just has a power over us. Sometimes we need support in that. Sometimes we need help in that. Sometimes we need recognition in that. I got your back. Releasing lack. Releasing lack. And shame. Shame. Woo. I hear things will never be the same, but sometimes that's a good thing. Also in the heart space, they want me to detach somebody from the fear grid. Nothing to be afraid of. Everybody wants to bring an enemy forward instead of choosing love and just healing their own shadow. What I mean by that is like looking for the Antichrist instead of realizing it's the blueprint all along. Look to those that push the agenda. So connecting the heart to the umbilical cord, to the mother. The birth of life, birth portal. Trauma at birth, also healing. And also when somebody was in the womb, I feel like is where addictions were born, whatever that means for you. Drawing more water into the solar plexus solely now. And bringing that of the sun. The light of the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon. The moon on the left and the sun on the right. Recalibration complete. The energy of the north, the east, the south, and the west. But the west, back to the north. Whole and complete. Whole and complete. Kampala-iyo-yo-ayo. Kampala-iyo-yo-ayo. Kampala-iya. Kampala-iya-iya-iya. They're calling in the cosmic rays of reunification here. So I'm drawing in ethereal light rays into the solar plexus of pink and blues and greens and light purple. Kampala-iya-yo-yo. Bayakan tayo. Bayakan tayo. It feels good. Like I feel the shift. Woo! Like I feel free. Somebody feels I feel free. So, for sure. Feels good. Feels good. Something in the earth grid. So I keep tuning into the earth a little bit in the earth programming. So something in the earth grid is about to fall in front of everybody. A very big structure we become accustomed to is about to fall to pieces for everybody, not just America. Not just America. Everybody. It will affect everybody. And then something with the judicial system, justice served, true justice. Solar plexus. So I'm undoing all of this in your solar plexus. Are you ready to meet now with the water and light? You ready to meet now with the water and light to balance and make everything right? Calling in Kilimanjaro here. So Kilimanjaro. So when I undid Kilimanjaro, when I lit up Kilimanjaro, it was a pyramid activation that I did. It's a masculine one. And it had to do with the undoing of the White House. And I'm about to republish that on Sunday on my other channel, but it's important. So it's coming in here. And it had to do with like the White House, the foundation, and justice served. There's something in that video we have to pay attention to because it's about to play out on this planet. And an underwater earthquake to a volcano. But it's affecting our solar plexus. Like we need to tune into it to ease this acceptance. Kilimanjaro. I blew it up 3 times. I feel like there's 3 points, 3 mountain tops, 3 pyramids. They're pyramids. Dormant? Not anymore. Awakening the giant, they're saying. Yeah. And also Krakatau. So Krakatau has been coming up in my energy lately. And I said this in one of the pyramid activations. I'm not sure which one. It might have been that one. But Krakatau. It's like an underwater thing. Water's happening. But it's under the water. Like a tectonic shift. Like a really big tectonic shift. Really big, and then it's like and then like things shift, and then it like awakens, but then it like erupts, like something erupts, something awakens and erupts, something shifting, and it's happening. So I'm going to draw up the crystalline grid, they're saying, to help us into our feet, but also into the trees, like reflecting of the masculine and feminine, but also a balancing here. So we're going to help with a balancing of the masculine and feminine through the trees, through the crystalline grid, to help with Kilimanjaro, with activation with energy expansion and release. So as I'm trying to draw the light together also within our heart to our solar plexus, there's a little bit of like a ball of resistance and energy resistance. So I'm going to tune into it very intently. False timelines, conditioned responses, and fear. Matrix components. Resistance to change and being stuck in. So we've been so conditioned that we always look for understanding rather than allowing our heart to guide us. And this is coming out here. Now, as I'm tuning into this, I'm getting a pain in like my upper back area, my shoulder, through my neck. It's different than the one before. And I'm hearing like shackles, like carrying the weight of the world. Also a separation from the totality of yourself. And then I heard the song, "We're going through changes. We're going through changes." So the Charles Barkley one, Changes, the song by Charles Barkley, is the one I hear in my head. But the most important part of it is that we're going through changes. But I feel like in that song, he talks about his relationship with his mother, the mother, right? Changing, loss, grief, letting things go, allowing for new beginnings, new ways of being, new life. Yeah, all of that's being reflected through that song right now. And as I said that, I felt that release. And then I see the light and the water becoming one in the heart space, like whew, everything just united in the heart center. And then I'm hearing another song. This is so weird. It's looking out on the morning. What is it, morning sun or morning rain? I hear morning sun, but that doesn't seem right. On the morning sun. Whoa. It makes me feel so uninvited. I think I'm mixing up that song, but I have to say it the way it's coming through. Because the way I met you. It's weird how it's coming through. It's not one of my favorite songs, but I'm like, okay. And then I hear you make me feel like a natural woman, right? But I don't feel like that's an accurate detail, but there's something in that song that matters, as well as we're going through changes. And so a combination of those two songs is throwing me off. They don't combine, but they are both coming up here. And then I hear when two worlds collide and one is undone. When two worlds collide and one is undone. When two worlds collide and one is undone. Make way for the changing sun. A crack in the foundation and lightning undone. That's what I'm hearing. Waves of justice. So now that we've all connected and aligned and we have water flowing up and light flowing down, it's going to continue. So it's just going to continue the water flowing up and the light flowing down as I go in now to play the chakra bowls and light some sage. And I don't know if anything else is going to come through. I am just following what I'm being told to do. Those two songs are truly combining. I hear we're going through changes, and then I'm like, looking out on the morning rain. But I keep hearing sun. Whoa. Makes me feel so excited. And then I also hear uninvited. So I'm getting like weird versions of that song, and I don't know why. So we're still holding space. The light and the water is flowing through. But we're not done. I'm not ending it yet. So I don't know what else is coming, but it's starting to calm down. I feel like it's calming down and we need to just hold space for a moment. And I feel like this is for everything, for all life. We're holding space for all life, they're saying. So just be present. Yeah. Okay. So I keep feeling Kilimanjaro. So I was re-releasing the masculine pyramids, which I did like over a year ago. And there's a reason I do all these things is because they're in the energy. And when you think about manifesting, it's like what we do in the ethereal swings back around into our reality. And so all of those things are playing out in our energy very profoundly. And when you look at things from like a surface level, it can be scary. It looks like, things are falling apart, but they're not. They're falling into place. But we have to, so something about the earth has to be exposed. Something about the earth has to be exposed. And I keep hearing that. So don't allow fear to take hold, no matter what you see. Because if we align with our heart center, We will be fine. We will be safe. It's our job to rise to new heights. Because, some people say apocalypse and the end of the world, and it's not for everybody. Okay. This is different. This is the Great Reset. So what that means is just healing and rising above. And those that do and clear their karma by healing it, stay. Okay. Because it's new. It's a new way of being, new way of life. And in order to get there, though, we have to let go of what was not. And we have to push past that resistance. And if judgment rises, heal judgment within you. Clear judgments out of your energy. If fear rises, just heal and release it within you. Don't allow the external to dictate you. Allow the internal to guide you. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to tune into the chakra bowls just for a moment. So just be present. Whatever you feel, I want you to breathe into it and breathe it out. And God is asking if you can just tune into the trees. You're going to help calm the frequency and also raise the frequency of the planet. Make way for the portal of the sun. It will change everything and everyone. So I am being shown for me to tune into the sun, to tune into the sun. The moon and the sun are truly one. The moon and the sun are truly one. And I'm going to draw them down together into the core of the earth. Into the core, like a fountain opening up from the heavens above. And when I did that, I do see storms. I see cloud storms. I see storms and tornadoes, like winds of change, bringing destruction for repair. The element of wind is next. Water and wind. West, back to the north. You won't know when things end. Make way for the begin. Everything's ending now. Make way for the beginning. Focus on the beginning. Focus on new and love and joy. Letting go of the conditioning. Trains. Something with trains. I see tracks like all of a sudden like going and coming up. What does that mean? I don't know. But the trains. So I did predict that planes were going to have a thing, and that was in my predictions. And then I said trains, and now I see trains, and now I see train. And then I hear like Pope John Paul II, and I said death of. But I know that's not our current pole, but that's how it keeps coming through. But I also undid the Sistine Chapel, so that makes sense too. Tower, corruption, burning. The fall of the Tower of London, London Tower. Make way for destruction for repair. Don't focus on the destruction. The rebirth and repair. Also, everything's going to be okay for America, but it's not supposed to stay the same. So there's a lot of fear around that. It's time to let go and let newness begin. Trains. Trains? What does trains have to do with time? Trains and time? Trains and time? And then I see the tracks going, and I hear the false concept of time. Was time created for trains? Trains and time. Trains and time. Undoing time. Undoing trains. Trains destruction. Destruction. We're going through changes. That song's coming back through now. And then I hear, looking out for the morning sun. But isn't it morning rain? And I keep hearing sun. So weird. Makes me feel so excited. That's what I'm hearing. Sorry, doing it with my eyes closed. And why am I hearing the Great Wall of China? Time for walls to come down. Walls to come down. Walls to come down. Time for walls to come down. Isn't that contradictory, though, to what's being done at this time? Seems like a division, but it won't stay that way. It's not the one you think of. It's different. See, there's things going on with Mr. Trump that we don't see. He's here to expose, expose, expose. And he's doing this, even if uncomfortably. And he's also being resisted upon. So they're pushing a certain thing, and what's happening behind the scenes is not fully clear yet. But remember, his path was clear. It's just not what you think it is. But he is intentional. He is part of the changes. So God is asking us to do one thing before we end this out. See the light coming down from the heavens above. They're going to come all the way down our vessel into the core and out the trees and rise above, like a fountain of light, okay? A connection of light to help balance and make everything right for this 222. So if you've heard this call, they're recognizing it. So we're going to draw down the light from the heavens, the ethereal flow, the cosmic rays of reunification, and the heavenly light. So there's multiple light. It's filled with all God activation, all Christ light. And it's coming down like a fountain, coming down through your vessel, through the crown, all the way down our center line, through our vessel, into the earth, through the layers of the earth, through your earth star chakra, and into the core of the earth. And I'm going to draw down more and more and more and more into the core through you. You are helping the earth, drawing it down, drawing it down, drawing it down, drawing it down, and into the earth and out through the trees. The trees are what I've used because the 144,000 weren't all ready. So that's why the trees are playing out in the Schumann. It's true. If you watch when I did the protection for Israel, I brought it all down through the trees. The trees are helping to photosynthesize, to help transmute, and to carry that DNA activation. So they're helping all of us with this transformation. And so we're bringing it down through our bodies into the core and out through the trees and out through the trees into the dome of light. Okay, we are not a flat earth. Please understand that. We are both. We are quite complex. So when you think of flat earth, it's like a 2D existence, but they can see the detachment. And so at least there's that. But when I ask God, it's like a gyrosphere. We have a round energetic space, right? The earth is much round, and we are in a flat plane of existence within that roundness. Okay, so there is both. And so we're drawing the light down, down, down through our vessels into the core and out the core into the trees and out above for all to see. And as we're doing that, it's breaking down more of this false foundation, but it looks like a false grid. So it looks like do you remember The Sky is Falling? The Sky is Falling in that movie with the bird? The sky is falling. What is that? But it kind of looks like this weird grid system just collapsing in the dome. Does that make sense? And so we're drawing down the light, going through us into the core and out the trees and up into the heavens, up into the ethereal for all to see. And I keep hearing that. And then I see it breaking down the veil of illusion, the false system of confusion, the false blindingness that they created. So I'm just going to hold space and allow us to do that a couple more times. The light coming down, going through your vessel into the core and out the trees and up above for all to see. Okay. So we all have to see truths exposed. Everything will rise to the surface to be exposed, to detach from our consciousness. Okay? Be nice to your neighbor because there are people struggling mentally right now. This is not normal. It is outside of our understanding and a mental cortex. It can't be logically explained. And so just be kind to one another. Stay in the here and the now, and it helps us grounding into the earth. Okay? No judgments. And don't be afraid to shine your light. If you accept other people's judgments, you become that. Drawing down the light from the heavens above through your vessel into the core and out the trees and into the dome for all to see. One more time, drawing down the light through our vessels into the core of the earth and out through the trees into the dome for all to see. And you, my friend, helped bring that through today. And it is written in your akashic records. So before we close those records, they're going to give you a little more healing into the heart space. Today was no small feat. They are saying that. So those that heard the call got major healing. And the thing they're saying about this healing is no matter how people look at it, they're going to see something differently because it's going to tailor to your healing needs. Okay. So no matter who looks at it and what they see, they're going to see something differently. That's the way I roll. You don't see my heart space. You see me through yours. I am a reflection of that. I am that. And then I heard again, looking out from the morning rain. This time I heard morning rain. Whoa. And then I keep hearing, makes me feel so excited, which I don't think that's the right lyrics. From the day I met you. Life was so unkind, but you make me feel. What a way to end this one out. Nice release. So I'm going to kind of give you space. So I don't want to like cut us off from this. I want to leave it anchored into you. So I'm going to anchor it in, okay? From a channeled sigil that they bring through. Christ consciousness.
Ah.
I will say thank you for being here. What I do is not normal. And the more our hearts are open, the more you will see and feel and recognize what I do. But I do spark people's shadow. I'm here to help you heal that. So I'm proud to do it. Remember, we are all reflections of our truth. We see reflections of our truth. And so, with everything, choose love. With everything, tune in and heal it so that you can rise above. Don't judge anybody and don't let anybody judge you. Okay?
Ah.
Stay safe, stay united, stay love. And what I do is beyond my understanding 90% of the time until afterwards, and then I process it. So that is all you have to do. We don't have to understand. We put it in our pocket. An awakening journey is about things circling back around, and we see things clearer and clearer and clearer as we rise. You cannot see past the shadow, and you cannot see at a soul level. So God says, just be. Push past the resistance. Show up and have faith in me. Trust in your heart space over the mind. This is, after all, as I pulled in the cards, a portal of the mind. Okay? Call your power back and just be. Open your heart, and the more you will see. All right? Thank you all for being here. I love you. Until next time.